Hello, welcome to this special session of the Leadership Advancement Mentorship podcast. On the podcast today is not a stranger. She's a virtuous personality that has been here before, and she's a woman that I really appreciate and I celebrate. She's out with a new book, and we're going to be talking about the book today and unlocking your maximum potential. I so much believe in this topic. Without wasting time, this is Dr. Michael Koku, your host. I'd like to welcome Ms. Jaresha Moore. How are you today?
I am doing well. I'm
Yeah.
excited to be here. Again,
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, are we happy to have you back? And thank you so much because you're one of the speakers of the Women in Leadership Made for More, and you really, you really brought the house up. I won't say you brought the house down because what you shared really resonates with people, and you really inspire people in such a great way. And let me ask you, what has been the most important lesson that you have learned as a woman in leadership?
My goodness. Wow. There's so many lessons,
Mm,
right? There's
mm,
so
mm,
many lessons.
mm.
But I'll tell you, probably the most important thing that I've learned on my journey is to be you.
Mm,
um on this journey, at least for me, there have been so many things that I've learned. There's so many, I've made mistakes. I've, failed, several times, but each time I've gotten back up. And so I say that be you, not just being you, but be authentically you. Never apologize for who you are
mm,
as a woman, as a leader. I lead in my business. I lead as a mom, as a wife. And so you have to be who you are.
mm,
Um, and and never apologize for doing that. Never apologize for being who you are. And at the same time, one of the other things that I've learned is how important it is to grow. It
mm,
is so important to grow as a
mm,
woman and being open to, learning new things. I can't tell you over the years, just how many lessons
mm,
that life has taught me, how many lessons I've learned, both, being was in the workplace and being a part of, businesses, how many times
mm.
that I've experienced those barriers, those challenges, those things that just kind of come in the way. And sometimes, life happens,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day,
Mm,
um, we learn and we grow.
mm,
So for me, that has been a part of, who I am, what has really made me who I am
mm.
today, and how I just continue to grow, continue to develop. And I
Yeah.
recognize the importance
Mm,
of growth, importance
mm,
of really, as we're going to talk about here in a little bit, of maximizing your potential and understanding
mm,
your potential as a
mm,
woman. So that's why I say you have to be who you are and
mm,
knowing who
mm.
you are.
Wow,
It's
that's more of an awareness, knowing who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you will know how to act. Because our act is based on awareness. You have to be aware. You don't have to be like someone else. There's only you in the whole universe. And like I said, and I appreciate what you said. You don't have to apologize to anybody about who you are because your own fingerprint is different from others. So you need to really understand that the only life that you have is what you have now. And even if life give you lemon, you can make lemonade out of it. Yeah. And I like to turn my lemon into lemonade. And so you talk about unlocking your maximum potential. Out of all the title in the world, why does this title uh stood out to you? Why did it stood out to you? Why did you decide to name, even though it's a Saturday devotionals, but why did you decide to name this book Unlocking Your Maximum Potential? Why is that important to you?
It is very important because I'll tell you that what I've learned over the years and as I refer to it as, everyone's a boss CEO, and really it's just geared towards women being
Hmm.
boss CEO of their life. But it's important for us to recognize, going back to what you mentioned, like it's important for us to recognize the greatness that is within us.
Yeah.
So I feel like as leaders, as women, as moms, the many hats that we wear, it is so very important for us to recognize our potential. And once we recognize our potential, our greatness that is within us, then we can begin to really step into and walk into that purpose for our lives. We can really walk into who who God has called us to be in being a mother, being in the 9 to 5 world, being in your business. You can really walk into that. And so it was very important for me to title this as, unlocking your maximum potential, because I feel like we should all desire to unlock that within us. And not
Hmm.
just for women, for all of us. We should
Yeah.
all have the desire to unlock that
Hmm.
greatness that is within us. And first, it's about recognizing that
Yeah.
you have that greatness that is within you.
Hmm.
And so once we
Hmm.
understand that, then we can begin to take that step, to develop, to grow. And
Hmm.
so in this 30-day devotional, it's about taking one day at a time.
Hmm.
Really understand the greatness that's within you, understand the potential that you have that is within you, and
Hmm.
begin to work on that, and not just work on it, but take action.
Hmm.
So I mentioned it is for the boss CEO. And so I want to, if I can, give you the definition of what a boss CEO.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to ask that. You
Okay.
just read my
Okay.
mind. I was like, what does boss CEO means? Because I
Okay.
mean, I thought I was the only one that have acronym. I'm about to get another one today. Yeah.
Yes, so a boss CEO, and we've all heard of, a boss, we've heard of CEOs, but I said, you know what, I want to combine these words, a
Hmm.
boss CEO, because I really feel like when it comes down to understanding what a boss CEO is, it is a powerful and influential leader who wakes up each and every day with determination, with purpose, and they're really ready to take on any obstacles that may come their way. So they're going to pray for strength and guidance. They're going to trust in their own abilities and in
Hmm.
their intuition to make decisions that's going to move their business, their career, their life forward. And so, as I mentioned, as far as like we have to be unapologetically,
Hmm.
as we live our life on our own terms without fear of hesitation.
Hmm.
And we're always going to be striving to unleash that greatness, to
Hmm.
unleash the greatness to achieve our goals. So, boss CEOs, they take bold actions, they take risks, they are confident in their own abilities to overcome any challenge, any barrier, any obstacle, and they're going to emerge victoriously.
Hmm.
So, boss CEOs, it's all about being that visionary leader that's going to
Hmm.
inspire
So
and
it's not an acronym.
no, it's not.
I thought it's an acronym. I was waiting for acronym.
I know you love acronyms.
I love acronym. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put that together because
I know.
I feel like it
I
should.
thought. No, I was thinking it's an acronym, but okay. It's now that we have more clarity. So I want you to paint the picture of the boss CEO. Is
Mhm.
it something related to women, or does this relate to men also? So that when people get the book, and a man can see that, oh, I mean, this speak to me too. Does it refer to women only, or both male and female? We wanted to make it plain.
Absolutely. That's a great question. So
Mm,
I'll tell you, because of the fact that I am a woman,
mm.
I said, this definitely Boss CEO is not just, something for women, it's for everyone.
Oh, that's good. That's
However,
good. That's good.
however, when I wrote this book, it was really geared towards a woman because of me being a woman, because of me
Mm,
being a mother, a wife, a mom. And so I really wanted to, write something that was specifically for women,
Mm.
but not necessarily saying that a man can't pick up the book and understand it, and flow with it, because it's not necessarily, geared and written to where, it's just specifically for women. And hopefully that makes sense.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. So it's specifically for women, but men can learn from it. Yeah.
absolutely.
That makes sense. There's a book I just finished reading. It's called The Secret of the Six-Figure Women.
Mm,
It was recommended by our coach and Valerie Button. And Valerie said the man can read it too. Guess what? I bought the book. I
yeah.
read it. I mean, and that's one of the best books I've ever read. In fact, the same woman, name is Barbara Stani. She wrote another book that Prince Charming
Mm,
is not coming.
wow.
That was her first book. Guess what? I already bought the book because, as far as I'm concerned, I want to learn from men. I want to learn from women. I want to learn from boys and girls. When you are a learner, because my key is KEY, keep educating yourself.
Yes.
I just got a book in the mail today. They just came in today.
Yes, that is a really great book.
I went to Orlando, the International Maxwell Conference, and they talk about 2-3 books. I ordered for it immediately. Why? How you grow determines where you go.
Right.
And by the grace of God, I'm reading 7 books every day now. And so I'm hungry. Because the thing is, the more you grow, when you grow, everything changes in your life. You attract new opportunities because personal growth is the expansion of leadership.
Mhm.
I was on my way to a trip, and they are taking me to the airport. And I received a call from Uganda. And so one of the coaches, in the Maxwell leadership, she was calling me. They were about to have an event. And they said, will I be available to speak? I said, sure, I will. When? So she was giving me the date. I was checking my calendar. I said, okay, I can do that. But this is the problem that I have. I have a client, I have an executive coaching between 11 to 1 o'clock. They want to have the event 12 o'clock. They said, because of me, they're going to move it to 1 o'clock. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
And so the flyer is out. And I'm just talking about, the more you grow, the more you attract opportunities.
Mhm.
So that's why I like this title of the book. Let's talk about unlocking your maximum potential. So what tip? I don't want you to give us everything about the book, because we want people to buy the book. So just give us a little, if I want to buy a water ice, a bucket, I want to have a taste. I want to have a scoop. Yeah. So let's just have a taste. So what are the tips that you want to share from the book? And I want you to whet people's appetite. Just give them a little bit spoon out of the whole big bucket.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, what I will tell you, I mean, certainly there's so much. It's a 30-day, as we've, already mentioned, it's a 30-day devotion. So it's something that you can pick up each and every day
Yeah.
and really, feel like you're getting poured into. At the same time, you're going to learn, you're going to grow more as that boss CEO that, that I mentioned, that I feel like all of us are. And so because the fact that I looked at it and said, you know what, I know how as women, we really need to feel empowered. We want to feel motivated, but at the same time, I, recognize that, many of us are are women of faith. And so we want to be on that spiritual walk, that spiritual journey as well. And that doesn't, just because you're a boss CEO, that does not mean that you cannot be. And so with each day, there's going to be, you have the actual devotion, which is your encouragement, your motivation, that has, many scriptures that I've pulled out and said, you know what, these are some of my favorite ones that I feel like it's really helps us grow, helps us helps us feel empowered as boss CEOs. And then you also have journal prompts as well. So not only do you have a devotion, but you have journal prompts. I believe in not just, getting that motivation, but also taking time to reflect and think about things, and not just thinking, but pulling out that notebook and writing things down. So each devotion has questions that you can answer based off of the specific day. And not to mention also, we can't have a devotion without a prayer. And so each day there's a prayer that you have that you can read. I really, for me, that is something that I've, have enjoyed with other devotions that I have and that I, continue to read today. And so I really wanted to make it something to where, anyone could, take this book with them. And
Can you take it up so that we can see?
yes.
Oh, yeah. No, something is shining on it. It's okay. It's not really showing very well. There's a reflection.
There it is.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Yes, beautiful.
Absolutely.
This is
where
good.
You can take this with you, and you can make notes. So there's an area.
How many pages is the book?
It is a total of 173 pages.
Wow, that's a lot. Wow.
It's 173 pages of just when I tell you, that it's scripture, it's practical information that you can pull that pulls from the Bible, scriptures that we can relate to our everyday life as boss CEOs. And not to mention, but also the questions that is at the end of each day that's really going to help you tap into and understand where you are as a boss CEO as it applies and relates to that specific day. So each day there's actually a theme or a title for each day, from let's see, tapping into greater abundance, to a power of peacemaking, to stepping into discomfort, soaring on the wings of perseverance. So each day there is a theme and a topic that is geared to really help you continue to grow and maximize your potential, while also, making sure you're in the word and really being fed spiritually, because that's important to me as a mom, as a wife, and as a woman.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, my last question to you is this: what makes this book different from other books?
That's a great question. So I'll tell you what makes it different is I specifically pulled out scriptures that I felt like really would help that boss CEO on the journey of maximizing their potential. So a lot of times when we pick up devotions, it's not necessarily geared towards, growth in maximizing, your potential, and really not saying that it doesn't really empower us, but I definitely feel like it's different from any devotion that you're going to pull up. That you're going to read, because it offers more. It doesn't just say, it's almost like, it makes me think of not just a devotion, but almost like a study as well, because of the reflective questions. A lot of our devotions that we're reading, you're reading the devotion, you may get a story from whoever wrote the devotion, as well as the scripture, and you get a prayer. But there's not those reflective, thought-provoking questions that that's going to really make you think about, how does this really apply? So how does this apply to my life? Day one is letting go of limiting beliefs. How does this apply to my life? How can I let go of the limiting beliefs based off of, the scripture? How can I really let go of that? So that's where I feel like it really sets it. This devotion is going to be different from any other devotion that you're going to pick up. And that too, that there's a there's a part in the actual book where before you go into the devotion, there is a decree, declare, and an affirm part where you're
Okay.
going to affirm, decree, and declare that you are fully committed to unlocking your maximum potential as a boss
Mm,
CEO.
mm.
So there are some pieces that I wanted to include within the book, that the devotion, that I felt like I wanted when I picked up another devotion. And so because of the fact that, you know, something, if you're in a space where you feel like you still need, then why not help create something that's going to feed that need?
Yeah.
And so that's
Mm.
what I wanted to do with,
Wow,
you know,
that's
with
awesome. So where can people get the book?
absolutely. So right now it is actually on pre-order, and I have the actual link that I can provide to you
Okay.
for that.
So we're going to put the link in this podcast so that listeners and viewers can get the link. And I want to tell you, this is a real great book because we've been on this book for a while now, Unlocking Your Maximum Potential by Jaresha Smith. And let me tell you something. I'm an author. I wrote 5 books last year. So I just finished my 6th book that will be coming out next month. I know what it takes to write a book. But when she told me it's 173 pages, listen, that's no joke. And there's so much detail because the last time I was asking her about the book, the journey, and all that, this book is going to bless your life. So I want to tell you, this book is going to change your life because this is a woman that she's an envisioned woman that is big about purpose. So I want you to get the book. So we're going to make it easy and put the link in this chat so that you can know how to get the book. So Ms. Jaresha, how else can people connect with you and they listen to you? How else can they connect with you beyond the book?
Absolutely. So if you would like to connect with me, I am on all social media platforms. My social media handle is Jaresha Moore. And then also feel free to shoot me an email, jaresha@empoweronpurpose.com. And that
Wow.
Jaresha is spelled Jaresha.
Wow, that's awesome. Jaresha. Don't miss it. So, Ms. Jaresha, thank you for your time. It's been good talking about your new book at this special podcast. And I want you to know that this community will love you so much and we like what you bring to the table. And we still gonna be expecting another book because you told me about another book, but we're gonna get this one first. So thank you. Until I come your way next week with another leader, I want you to know that the most important thing about knowledge is application because that is the key to transformation. See you next week. Bye.